Big breakfast, it's Robbie this morning, and Matt Preston from Masterchef is joining us. Mate, how you doing?
Yeah, sweet. Thank you very much indeed. I'm having a lovely time.
That's good. Thanks for coming in. I know you're busy at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of unemployed now. We finished from with the show. I'm in that kind of off period. I'm just planning to head off overseas to watch my son play cricket. So yeah, it's a kind of lovely, joyous, sweet time. I'm just settling back and enjoying watching Heston's road trip on the telly. It's great.
How good is it, by the way?
Yeah, it was a pretty special thing that we love. There's nothing we like more going than taking the show to places where people normally don't film. You know, we've shot in weird beachside locations. So I think you tend to find that, you know, when people come over, say, to the west, they go to Margaret River. That's the logical place. But when we came over, we went and filmed over here. We did York, which was amazing. And the challenge last night at the Brim Silos was kind of that same dusty plains, kind of, you know, rough, tough, challenging cooking. I mean, they were cooking over open fire. Tonight they're cooking on these salt plains where the salt pans where they make Murray River pink salt, and that's amazing because it's like super white, and they're cooking as the sun goes down, and it's, you know, and you got Heston setting the challenges, so that's enough to bake anyone's noodle.
I reckon it is. The challenge tonight, if I'm right, is air as the...
Really, you know what?
What the hell?
Well, you say what the hell, and this is the one, because they're so wound up with Heston, they're going, well, air, and it's going to be smoke and smells, and it's like, no, mate, just make a sponge cake, or, you know, whipped cream is full of air.
Oh, good call.
You know, a souffle is full of air. You know, so there are lots of really familiar things that we have got that are a large proportion of air. Fluffy white bread.
Fair play.
You know, I'd suggest that cheese with holes in it.
Yeah.
This is the idea. You want them to try and push and expand their thoughts to try and deliver something a bit different. Which so far we've seen the good food's been really, really good. The bad food, as we saw last night with Cameron and Sam's dish, you know, if you don't get the idea, if you can't get your noggin around it, then you're in a world of pain.
Yeah, it makes it hard all of a sudden. Does Heston ever surprise you? I know you've been seeing him for like however many years now.
I think he's been on every single season bar the first one. It's amazing. So he's kind of a much loved regular every single time, because he's always got something new he's obsessed with. You know, the how the gut is the second brain, or evolution was the current one. So this idea of getting in a big bus and ending up, you know, by the banks of the Murray, and the evenings where you sit down with Heston and just start talking. It's amazing. So that's one of the great privileges of our job, is to work with these amazing cooks and spend time with people like Otterlingi or Heston Blumenthal or Nigella. You know, we're very lucky. We've got a couple more coming up in the coming weeks. A wonderful woman called Claire Smith, who's kind of was Gordon's right hand woman, amazing cook. So she's on the show. So she's a new face and a new voice. And we love that, finding new people to bring to the people who want Masterchef, so they can inspire our contestants. It's great.
For sure, mate. Now, Adam, my co-host, has actually left the other day, but I think we can still ask this question, right? Yeah, it's very sad.
Well, it is a bit sad.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like we have this thing. If George or Gary's sick, we refuse to stand in the spot. We're really quite annoying. Like we won't move up. If Gary's ill, George and I won't move up to take Gary's spot. We just leave a bit of a space there. It's kind of a respect thing. It's a weird thing when you've been working with someone for 3.5 years. It must be tough.
It's very strange, mate. And we had one thing called Toasted Sandwich Tuesday, and we made a book
I love
and
it.
everything.
Oh, I love toasted sandwiches.
You love them?
Yeah, I did a piece on them. Done a piece on them recently. I argued for a long time we should have a toasted sandwich challenge on Masterchef. We did it 2 seasons ago. It went Burko. People loved it. And there's a wonderful new book on the Toasty app by one of our regulars, a guy called Darren Purchase, which is really worth checking out. The Toasty is, I think, of great genius. It's
Is it ever?
You know, and again, I'm a big believer that the best toasties tend to be made with the cheapest white bread. That's kind of the essence of a toasty. Your sourdough's got too many holes, and the cheese will ooze out of the holes. I mean, that gives you a certain golden crustiness that can be quite nice. But at the end of the day, the fluffy white loaf of death, that's the way to go for a toasty for me.
I like it. So the big question then, your toasted sandwich, would it be a fancy one, or would it be something a little bit leftovers?
I reckon the best. But there are lots of things you can do, and that's the brilliant. You can put anything in a toasted cheese sandwich. You know, yesterday's leftover bolognese is delicious in a toasty, but it's really hard to go past one or two things. Either bitey sharp cheese and thinly sliced onion. Delicious, because you know that gives you some flavors. But the king of the toasty is undoubtedly cheese, ham, mustard, tomatoes. Because tomatoes give you that almost that kind of sourness and freshness. They break down, they go delicious, they soak into the bread. That's wonderful. And melted cheese and hot ham. What could be better? Creamy and salty, delicious.
Matt, I just love your passion about the toasted sandwich. I'm not going to lie.
Oh no, because it's been interesting in the last. We're in a toasty renaissance. You can find everything. You can find cheeseburger toasties. You can find all these different things inside. But and we love that. It's great to have a bit of an experiment. But when you come back to your favourite, and we've all got a favourite, oh, happy days.
Sensational. Now, Matt Preston, I'm going to ask you to hang around for a game quickly. Is that all right?
Yeah, love to.
All right, cool. We'll be back in a minute. And don't forget the Masterchef is on tonight at 7:30, Channel 10. Sweet. So that's part one. I love your passion about the toast.
Oh, so we could have rambled on about mayonnaise on it, or butter, or margarine, or what works best. It's fascinating. It's been it's one of the big things. Proper sandwich press.
Yeah.
Oh, but what about a baked bean jaffle?
Jaffle's pretty good though, you know.
Yeah.